So you wake up in the morning, you scroll through your emails, and you see this. Naturally, you panic, but hold on, there are things that you can do. Today, I will show you what to do when you get hacked and what you need to do right now to protect your Instagram profile and sleep peacefully. Ready? Let's do this. Hi, my lovely people, it's Natalia and welcome back to my channel where I help you create better content and grow on social media. You know I like to keep things real here, and apart from sharing pop advice on social media marketing that you guys really want to know, I feel it's super important to talk about the things that may not be as popular but are equally, if not more important. That's why today I'm going to show you exactly how you can keep your Instagram safe so that you never get hacked. I'll start off with the basics that are absolutely crucial for protecting your account. Then I'll share 4 lesser known tips for more security. And finally, I'm going to tell you what to do when you actually get hacked. All right, let's get into it. Number 1, two-factor authentication. The very first thing you have to do to protect your account is to set up two-factor authentication. This is arguably the biggest security measure you can take, and if you don't have it set up yet, run, don't walk to turn it on. Of course, I'm here to tell you exactly how to do it, but before I do, let me explain what two-factor authentication is. It's basically a second layer of protection going beyond just your username and password, where you're usually asked to provide a code to confirm it is you logging in and not someone else. And let's face it, with data breaches and leaks, there's always a chance that your username, your email address, and your password may end up on some random dark web list. From there, there's an opening for someone to use this information against you and steal your account. So how do you set it up? It's super easy. First, you go to your profile, click on the hamburger menu, and go to the security tab right here. Next, you want to choose the two-factor authentication and choose your method. And across various platforms, the authentication app is the suggested option simply because it provides the most security. You have the option to select a text message to be sent to your phone, but I prefer to err on the side of caution just in case someone else manages to intercept my text or get a hold of my phone. There are plenty of authentication apps available, with the Google Authenticator being the most popular one, but you could go for a Microsoft Authenticator or LastPass. What happens when you turn on the app authentication is that every time you try to log in, you first need to do the standard, so type in your email and password, but then the next step will be added where you'll be asked to provide a code from the app. When you go to open it, you'll have a temporary code for that particular account that refreshes every 30 seconds, and you just need to enter it on Instagram. This is a super safe way to log in, and you won't use it enough yourself to be bothered by this code entering. Tip number 2, password manager. Now that we have the two-factor authentication out of the way, you want to make sure you're using a super strong, unique password for your Instagram account. If not, this is where you're opening yourself up for some potential problems with data breaches again. Using a unique password is super important because if your data is leaked from a different website or an app, this password can be used to access your IG account. It's a shame to admit that, but I myself have recycled passwords in the past because it seemed like a lot of work to remember them for every single website I had signed up for. However, when I checked my email addresses on the Have I Been Pwned website, I was in horror. There were so many leaks, and most of the passwords I used to use were there on those lists. I quickly went on to create password systems for myself and change everything I could remember. And listen, it was good because I had a formula that was fairly easy to remember for me, and if I was pressed, I could easily just search for the individual variables, but it was still a pain. Then I discovered that password managers were a thing, and that changed my login credentials game forever. If you don't know what password managers are, these are the apps that help you store and fill your login details across the board in a very secure manner. You can use them to generate complicated and therefore safe passwords for each and every place you need login details for, and they remember all the other aspects like the email address you've used, your username, any notes related to the platform, and if you ever change things up, they have archives to remind you of the previous details. Normally, password managers come with apps for all devices, meaning you can have a desktop app, an Android or an iOS app, and a browser extension so you never scramble to log in. And many of them also double as authentication apps too, meaning you can use them to generate your two-factor authentication codes too. Honestly, this is such a game changer for me, and I feel much more secure with all of my details being stored there. I personally use 1Password and I've never had any issues with it whatsoever. It also checks for any breaches and identifies weak, reused, or compromised passwords for you. This is not sponsored at all. I just absolutely love the app and it gave me a peace of mind, so I want to share it with you too. And of course, there are plenty of alternatives on the market like Dashlane or LastPass, which I mentioned in point 1. Tip number 3, disable group messages on IG. Now, on to the next thing you may want to protect yourself from, and that's those pesky little group messages you may be getting on Instagram. These are used so often by spammers or hackers trying to get you to click on a link, and I have yet to see a group message I've been added to that was relevant to me in any way. It's best to block this option altogether and save your inbox for true connections with your followers. To do this, go to your profile again and the burger for settings, choose privacy this time, scroll down for messages here, and then you have the group chats option. Tap on who can add you to groups and change the everyone on Instagram to only people who follow you. This way, you're reducing your chances to be added to a phishing message dramatically, and if one of your followers manages to tag you in something dodgy or spammy, you can sleep well knowing you've identified a bad apple among your tribe and you've removed them from your profile. Similarly to this whole point here, I would definitely watch out for anyone who is sending you links in your inbox. As a rule, I don't click on anything unless I'm absolutely sure my account is safe, and there are plenty of scammers out there coming up with more and more creative ways to get to your account. Tip number 4, verify active logins. From time to time, I also take a look at my active logins to check if there's something out of the ordinary there. I'm usually logged in on 2 devices only, so it would be super easy for me to spot an unrecognized device. If you go to your settings, then security, and then login activity, you'll see all of the devices which are connected to your Instagram account. If you don't recognize them, you can just tap the 3 dots and click log out. Chances are you're going to log yourself out of the account, but again, better to be safe than sorry. Tip number 5, manual tag approval. This may not be a security feature per se, but it's definitely worth exploring if you get tagged on Instagram a lot. To save yourself from being tagged in questionable or straight up shady posts, make sure you enable the manual tag approval. This way you'll be in full control over where you get tagged, and your tagged feed won't feel like a messy corner of your profile that you'd rather not look at. To do this, go to the settings again, then privacy, find the post tab, and you'll see the tagged posts section. When you click to manually approve tags, you'll be able to turn it on and see who tagged you. I've recently cleared it out, but I have a new tag here, so it's not something relevant to me or my profile, so I can just go to the 3 dots in the top right corner, tap tag options, and choose whether I want to remove it or accept it on my profile. Let's hit remove, and that's sorted. We've talked about securing your account and owning your data, but now what should you do when you actually get hacked? Well, this depends on whether or not you still have access to your account. In the first case, while you're logged in, immediately change your password and turn on the 2-factor authentication to make sure the person hacking you cannot access your account again. You should also check if the contact details connected with your account are still correct. It happens often that the hacker changes your email address and phone number so that you can't recover your account so easily. Normally, you would have been notified, but when something seems sus and you think you may be getting hacked, it's better to be safe than sorry. You also should check if you see any unverified active logins and remove any third-party apps that you yourself have not approved. Now, when you get hacked and no longer have access to your account, things may get a little bit tricky, but Instagram does have a procedure to help you get your IG back. So first, you want to check your email for a message from security@mail.instagram.com, and that's going to allow you to revert any changes made to your account and secure it. If you didn't get an email or other important information like your password has already been changed, then you can request a login link. To do this, you can tap Get Help Logging In when you're on Android or Forgotten Password when on iOS, and you'll be asked to provide your username, your email address, or phone number linked with your account. If you don't know these, you can tap Need More Help and follow the instructions instructions from there. Once you're in, make sure you check all the details I mentioned before and enable two-factor authentication. But what if you still can't access your account? Well, then you want to choose the I can't access this email or phone number option. And if your account has no photos of you, they will ask you for the email address or phone number you used to sign up initially and the type of device you used back then to verify your identity. If you have posted photos of yourself before, then you'll be asked to provide a video selfie of you turning your head around to prove you are who you say you are. Once that's cleared, you'll get a chance to secure your account again. Have you known about all these safety features on Instagram? If not, I'd love to know if you've secured your account straight away. And if you've ever been hacked, share your experience in the comments down below. It may help another person in the future. And now that your profile is safe and sound, you have all the freedom to focus on building a plan to attract your ideal audience. And I'm sure this video right here is going to help you do it step by step. Once that's out of the way, I highly recommend you check out this playlist to find out what actions you can take today to start growing on Instagram consistently. Subscribe to my channel and hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.